AskReddit, what is socially acceptable to do online, but not in real life? Following people is a surprisingly creepy concept for how much it is used online. If they ever find out that you followed them, then you did it wrong. I think there are apps that let you tag people, and then other people with those apps can see your tags. It's incredibly creepy and disturbing. I was actually surprised how acceptable it seemed to be to online stalk someone. Like my recent years in college, and at the end of one semester me and some classmates learned we were getting a new classmate into our step in the program. Like some folks were casually chatting, like, oh, I wonder what she'll be like, does anyone know her, etc. And like someone was like, oh, I think I just found her Instagram, and they all crowded around to look. I dunno. I just found it a bit weird. Talk to someone without your pants on. You never had a sleepover with the boys where you talked about the meaning of life in your underwear? Unless it's a roommate or you're in a locker room. There's a brief window of acceptability. Wait 3 hours to respond when you already heard what they said. Yeah, right, no, I hate that. Unfortunately, it's becoming socially accepted to literally just ignore when a person says something to you like you can online. Or wait approximately this long to respond. Stare dead ahead for minutes on end while trying to think of a good comeback. If you do this in real life, people will just assume you're on the spectrum. Don't ask me how I know. Everyone does this, except it's in the shower the following day. Give yourself a random nickname and expect people to refer to you as such. Just to clarify, I'm referring to the more inappropriate ones that are almost guaranteed to be censored, not stuff like puppy lover or one_punch_fan. Also, putting numbers in your name, because Christ, that's a lot of numbers, bro. Edit just so we're clear, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not being a dick because of Ops username. Just wanted to clarify that. It actually is kinda acceptable if you're polite about it. When I switched schools, I decided to introduce myself with a nickname, even though nobody had ever called me that, and everyone accepted it and called me by the new name. This is actually popular to do in fighting game culture. We go to in-person tournaments almost exclusively and refer to each other by self-created tags. I worked with one of my best friends since high school, and we'd game every night after work. One day at work, I called his name 5 or 6 times and he never responded. Then I called him by his Sparks Live Gamer tag, and he responded immediately. All my friends still refer to me by a nickname I had in a game years ago, and it pisses me off. I used to name myself Mr. Sir in games like Survivor, so whenever I was the leader of the game and had the most power, people would have to say to me, Mr. Sir, sir, please don't vote me out. That always sent me on a power trip. I started out clear back in 1998 as Angel. Met tons of people offline who never use my real name. Now that we know each other, they say it fits me better. Even my boyfriend calls me Angel. I roll. I picked out a new name for myself and everyone uses that instead of my legal name. How is that different? People just call me noob. I have no issue with this. Is mine a good example? That's how biker gangs work. I've been using my nickname on every game, and friends who know me through this game in real life call me as such. Really? Little kid lover. Watch strangers have sex. I better get out my neighbor's bedroom cause this is news to me. Or people you know. OnlyFans is a fucking trip, man. Teabag defeated foes. Imagine a Frenchman doing that in some trench in WW1 and getting us fucked by a pickle hog. Wait till WW3. I remember play a game if COD 4 and one person was talking trash. He was like 7 or 8, I think. Of course he managed to kill me while I was on a kill streak point, so I respawn AMD put the airstrike on the location where I died. Turns out he tried to teabag my character and died without being able to. He got so mad that he threw his controlled, and they heard him crying about breaking his TV. Upvote or downvote every comment you hear. Scream obscenities at children. Won't stop me from doing it. Talk about masturbation nonchalantly with strangers. When I was a freshman in high school, there was a kid who asked me and the other guy at our table at what age we started masturbating. It was really weird. He was my friend for the rest of the year. I was just seeking feedback on technique. No reason to interrupt your whole sermon. Simultaneously poop and talk to love interests. You do that too? Saying lol feo in real life or any other like terms. I used to work with someone like that. It drove me bananas. I say LMAO, pronounced LMAU not LMAO, out of pure irony. I hate when I hear someone say it out loud. This hits close to home right here. Like people's comments. Porn videos comments. Saw a video of a guy banging his wife and daughter and the top comment was, who wants to get married and have a family like this? Talking about how much I want to die. Reply to any conversation you can. Help a random 12-year-old. Wait, is that legal now? /s. Constantly correct people on technicalities. Do that eye roll, and you'll quickly end up with no friends. Technically, if you make it seem like a joke instead of a correction, you might still end up with no friends. I have friends. This really depends on your line of work. Swipe left or basically refuse to talk to someone BC you don't find them attractive. I mean, that's kind of what happens to me in everyday life. I can say whatever I want. Oh wait, I live in Russia. Tell the same dumb jokes over and over again. Fuck, what's popping shit, I'm doing it again. Tell that to dads. Oops, lying about your gender. I just filled out some new documents for job, and while creating a Google business account for the work phone there was a custom option for gender that let you enter whatever you wanted, apparently properly identifying is important point. Oddly enough, the choices for what you wanted to be called were more limiting. Mr., Mrs., other, with no custom entry. Say the N-word. Nipples. Depends on what organizations you're in. Saying stuff like LMAO and lol, also emojis and shit. How do you say emojis in real life? Do you say crying emoji or smiling emoji with sunglasses? /s/l. Age, sex, location. Go into someone's photo albums and look through just to find the sexy bikini photos. I don't necessarily think this is considered socially acceptable online, but people run their mouth without fear of real repercussions. Spouting off mean and vile things like, I hope your kid gets cancer. But real life, all of a sudden they aren't as confident without their anonymity. Point, I try to be peaceful, but it doesn't mean I'm not physically competent enough to make you reconsider your life choices up to that point when you wished harm upon my family. Agree with Russian propaganda. Speaking in movie/TV quotes. People are so rude, the anonymity allows them to act on their darkest impulses with little danger of retribution. Once the negative tone of an interaction gets set, all those dark triad personality types become emboldened like sharks in bloody water. It's truly disgusting to see how we really are as a species, superficial. Hey, go F yourself /s. Saying cuss crap. Being a douche. Calling someone the N-word. Not really acceptable either way, but a 13-year COD player would think otherwise. Masturbation. Sometimes I try to tell dark jokes or sad jokes and people just look at me like I'm crazy. Shop naked. Literally any crime. Real life committing fraud is illegal. Online fraud is just like, oh well, be more careful next time. Seriously. Online you can sell people fake medicine, get them to send you money, or even get them to give you their password. Basically none of that is treated like a crime. Real life, someone coming into your house and locking down all your stuff, demanding $10K or you will never get it back. crime do it with their computer files and it's NBD. Pretend to be somebody else. Crime. Make a Facebook and pretend to be them, all in good fun. Also literally anything is allowed if people trick you to agree to it. Imagine if real life was like that. This guy burned down my house. Yeah, but he told you beforehand he was going to do that and you said okay. So he's free to go, even things like stalking. If I break into someone's phone and look at their private nude photos, it is basically fine, but if I look through their window in real life, it is jail time. Imagine if I followed a person around and recorded everything they did on camera, recorded everything they said. Imagine I sat in their house recording them all day every day, and then sold the information I got from doing that. Google, Amazon, Facebook and others all do this all the time, but imagine if a guy literally did it to you in real life. One of the worst is hate crimes. There are entire communities online basically high-diving each other for fantasizing/strategizing about this stuff. One of the biggest problems in our world today is that at some point in the 90s or so, our governments decided the digital world magically doesn't count. It's been a runaway for stir clock ever since. You're describing crimes you know. A kid went to prison for the happening, right? Tell the truth about how you're feeling. Shooting people in the face. Disagree with someone's opinion. Say oh in real life. In fact, don't do that online either. Stalking people, everyone should agree with that. Just being generally offensive. Replying about 49 minutes later. Get really hurt by a complete stranger when they are talking to someone else and go on a really long rant and say you're an asshole in all seriousness. Mocking dead people. Asking someone their ASL. Trolling. Whack-ass nicknames and expecting people to call you by specified nickname. Being a keyboard warrior. People say stuff to people online that they wouldn't say to that person's face. It's lame, but everyone does it. Shitpost. Judging by how people conduct themselves on the internet, my answer is to say and do the most vile crap that they wouldn't ever do in real life, only because they have the anonymity of the internet to hide behind. Oversharing. All those edgy ass teens who say the word because they think it's funny. Seriously, if they say that crap viral, they'd get their crap rushed. Not putting on pants for school/work. Tell people your real opinion about issues. Some very bluntly. Talk with the people when them sit on the toilet. Leave a social scenario to jerk off and then come back like nothing happened. To be rude and be silly. As far as video games go, non-seriously talk crap to someone the second you meet them. Some people you talk to are kids, so walking up to stranger kids and start talking to them, well, that only applies to males. Call somebody a dumb fucker who will never reach anything in his life. This post was made by the League of Legends community. Raid literally anything with random strangers you got to know 5 minutes earlier. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more. See you next time.